Aquarius, hello. I'm looking at your place in the universe. It's gonna be tough. Not that your place, Aquarius, is a tough one, but the reading is not an easy one. I want you to remember that it's only a glimpse. I really don't pretend to be able to give you all the answers. So that being said, let's start pulling. I have 3 oracle decks and 1 tarot deck, so we can explore the question. You've got a card that slipped out, and it's the Holy Grail. It reads, inner discovery, finding sacredness, and you are what you seek. I love that. You know, it's almost like you don't have to go very far to find what you need, which is like self-love, right? For me, it's like the Ace of Cups a little bit. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to keep pulling another out of a different oracle deck here. Now this time, one came out this way, the other one's coming out the other way. Left and right. Oh, wow. I love this. Yes. Just say yes. I'm sorry, but I have to I have to show you, point it out to you. It's like, say yes to love, right? Almost like, because it's almost like an Ace of Cups. That's so fun. I mean, it's exciting. In terms of your place in the universe, I think you need to allow, accept, embrace, jump into it, you know, like really, yes. I had seen, I'm going to share this with you. I had seen, there's an astrologer, I'm not going to name her, but I kind of would, but I'm just going to leave it neutral. She had done a webinar, and she was comparing Jupiter to the energy of saying yes. But it's not just the planet Jupiter, it was the fact that Jupiter was in Pisces, and kind of still is until in a few days. I think Jupiter ingresses in Aries, back into Aries on December 20th. Anyways, we've had Jupiter a little bit last year, some of this year in Pisces, and Jupiter is the traditional ruler of Pisces. So that's a beautiful energy. So I think she did a webinar. Am I mistaken? Let me think. Let me retract myself. I don't know if, I'm not sure if it was Jupiter in Pisces or if she meant Jupiter in Sagittarius, which would have been a webinar she did a couple years ago when, when that happened, like 2019 or something. And I'm not paying attention to like how long it's been since I've seen this webinar. Anyway, both signs have Jupiter as a ruler. So either way, it's a yes energy. It's a big yes. Hopefully I didn't lose you with this astrology bit. We're going to draw out of the tarot now, Aquarius. And see, what are you saying yes to, and what does that imply for your place in the universe? You have the Empress. It came out in reverse. Look at that card. But it's the Empress, which is an energy of expansion. You know, in this reading, because it's your place in the universe, I am going to leave the cards in reverse, the way they come out, if they do come out in reverse. But I am also going to read the entirety of the card's energy. I just don't want to look at it only from a negative or with a negative sort of viewpoint. Not that cards in reverse are always negative, by the way. Okay, you get quite a few, but we're gonna go ahead with that. So 6 cards came out in order. The Knight of Cups. This is the Bosch Tarot. Bosch is a painter, Dutch painter from the 15th, 16th century. Not many humans on this card. A lot of fictional characters. Landscapes are also really odd. I love it. Lovers came out in reverse. I'll show you the card. We have the King of Cups in reverse. It's funny because we just had the Knight. The Hierophant is big love, commitment, relationship energy here, huge. 7 of Wands in reverse. And lastly, Death. Okay. Give me a little moment. There's a lot of energies mixing here. And I'm tempted to interpret, you know, as I would on a different read, right? But there's a specific theme here, which is not an easy one. And I want to make sure I correlate the cards with your place in the universe. Okay, I'm gonna do something. I need to place the cards differently. I'm actually gonna show you what I did. I'm just gonna tilt the camera quickly. So I've left the Empress card alone because it did come out first. It's on top here. And then I have 2 sets of 3 cards. Oops. Sorry. Okay. So for me, the fact that the Empress came out first, she's in reverse. There's both great expansion and great attrition in your life, right? Attrition is when things naturally fall to the wayside and are naturally being kind of, you know, like pruned out, right? So it's positive because it's a natural process. But that exists, so it's like saying the ebbs and flows of life. So that's important. And I sense that because she's in reverse. So let's see, part of your, I want to say, mission or your place in the universe, for me, relates to love, relates to how much love you're able to put out there, okay? Because the Empress is extremely abundant, and we've talked about the Yes as a Jupiterian energy of expansion, almost of dissemination. So it's super important here. Yet there will be moments when that, although the Empress upright is endless fertility, here we can sense the ebbs and flows. Let me just put it that way. And it could be due or partly because as you give, you need to recharge. So maybe it's a way for you to come back to yourself before you extend yourself again. It could be something like that, but we're going to keep looking. I'm sorry, this is annoying. Okay. We have the Lovers in reverse. And I want to show you how I've placed the cards. You have the Lovers in reverse in between the Knight of Cups and the King of Cups. So for me, although this is your place in the universe, we're talking about love. I mean, if this was a love read, I'd this be, if there wasn't a theme of your place in the universe, it would be a love read, you know, it's to the bone. Yet, love permeates this reading as well in terms of why you're here, where you're going, who you're sharing with, what it is that you are bringing to the table when it comes to engaging with life. I feel you're wanting to share your life with many people, but mainly with one person. I think it's something that you really would like. Yet the Lovers in reverse, the Empress in reverse, Death card here, even the King of Cups in reverse to a degree are showing me that that is not necessarily, doesn't come readily, but it doesn't mean that there's no love. It's almost like the focus is elsewhere. There's a great deal of spirituality here, incarnated in belonging to a community, a fraternity, some kind of organized structure, meaning organization. So some of that love is more on the spiritual plane, so Aquarian, right? To be involved in things that concern humanity, because the Empress is about loving everybody. Yet part of you is looking for that, also that one unique experience with one particular person. And that's also extremely Aquarian, because you're not solely involved with you know, things that are global, universal. You also have quite almost an egocentric streak, but egocentric in a healthy way, meaning that you're interested about what you do and how you do it, and in this case with who you partner with. So that's really important. The other energy that is really important is, I think you're interested in things that are extremely profound with the Death card. You are interested in the mysteries of life after death, things that are transformative, usually transformative through, well, there's two ways. There's one way that is empirical, and one way that is more, so empirical meaning through experience, of course. Your life events and, you know, people you encounter and people that pass away in your life, things like that, of all kinds of things pertaining to the 8th house mainly. I know this is the 13th major arcana, but it is pointing to Scorpio, so the 8th house. Yet there's a great deal of interest when it comes to knowledge, deep study, prayer, meditation, of course, philosophy, religion, etc. So you do it also through you do it through experience with the Death card, but you also do it through learning it, like in books, or even if it's through teachers, but through how do you say, like a transfer of knowledge. You could be this person, literally. It could be that it's in your wheelhouse to be that teacher, be that mentor, having had experiences, profound experiences, enlightening experiences related to, interestingly, ebbs and flows. So, I mean, ebbs and flows translating here as life and death, right? I think it's more than possible here. There's something related to the first three cards I showed you with the Lovers and this Knight of Cups with the King of Cups in reverse. So part of the things that you've learned and part of the things that you, how can I say this? Okay, let me finish. I'm sorry. It's not an easy read. There's a lot to say. Between death, there's the Seven of Wands in reverse, okay? In this case, all these experiences, especially the empirical ones, I want to say, but who knows? It could also be the downloads that you got through meditation, or even just the knowledge that you've gained through studying. Either way, both participate in breaking down your barriers. I mean, to the point that you become a sponge. Not to say that you have no more boundaries and that you are someone that people can walk all over on. You know, not like that. Just it puts you in a place of pure vulnerability, and also allowing, right? The Empress, the Empress energy, although it's in reverse, I really want to point out that, especially on the major arcana, she's allowing life in all its forms to come to her, to touch her feet. And by that I mean not to bow. Same thing with the High Priest Hierophant. I don't want you to think that there's any form of hierarchy. It's really important here. What I mean by touch your feet, it's like if you're on the shore, on the beach, and then you have the water touching your feet, you know, the tide comes in, and it's like something like that. Much more poetic than... Anyways. So you're in a place where you've been changed and transformed many times over, to the point that you have no more attachment to you, or ideally this is how your place in the universe plays out, that you reach that point of being as egoless as possible, although we all need to have a healthy ego, but you know, integrating your shadow. This is light and dark, right? When you look at it. So integrating both parts, etc. Through love, I want to come back to self-love. I think it's important that you understand that, again, it's the energy of allowing. When I say that all your defenses are down, it's because you say yes to it, and that's the Empress energy. And it's love, and it's self-love, unconditional love. Okay, so I think that bit is really clear, I hope. I think so. I want to go back to the quote-unquote love relationship. I think what I was describing before applies to you personally, but it applies to you, how you are in the world, in the universe. What you do with it, in this case, it's not so clear. Maybe maybe it comes down to this love relationship we're seeing. Excuse me. This is, although the cards are in reverse, there is tremendous love here because you have two people, two characters of the same suit. It's not gender specific. They're both cups, of the suit of cups. And you have the lovers in between. So there's a bond there that is indestructible through space and time, across many lives, if you believe in karma. So part of your place in the universe is saying yes to a love like that, which is not easy. And I think this is why the cards are in reverse. So I don't know which one you are. I'm tempted to say you're the King of Cups, because also in terms of deacons, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think the last 10 deacons of Aquarius belong to the King of Cups, but I'm not sure. I'm not strong enough with deacons to tell you, but I think it's the case. So I would apply the King of Cups as you, Aquarius. I think you've had your own share of ebbs and flows. That's why you're in reverse. You've had your share of experiences, good and bad. But you are learning how to say yes, because there's someone walking into your life, and it's part of universe's plans for you. Or else you wouldn't have this, the Holy Grail. But this card says you are what you seek. So remember that ultimately, even if you are partnered in an amazing relationship like this one, I can't believe my throat. I'm so sorry. It's interesting because, you know, we all say, like, if your throat chakra is playing on you as you read, it's like, it means like, you know, you're caught up. The message is hard to, it doesn't want to come out, or comes out with difficulty. It's interesting. I'm not sure why. Maybe because the reading is difficult. Or it could simply be a physiological thing. Back to the lovers in reverse. You need to allow more. I think you have a harder time. You have a much easier time to be fully opened in a more general sense, right? When you study, when you engage with people, when you live life through all its ups and downs, you are somewhat better equipped when it comes to dealing with the general, or the generality of it, quote unquote. When it comes to more intimate relationships, like the one we're seeing here, you're having a harder time to let it in, to welcome that. I think it boils down to self-love, and most probably part of your place in the universe, which I think is multidimensional in the sense that it's a who, it's a what, it's a where, it's a when, and it's a why, and a combination of these things. And you know, that's why I said it's only a glimpse, right? I can't tell you fully what your place in the universe really is. But there's a huge part here about learning to find yourself and realizing that you are what you seek through engaging in a particular, very precise, very important love relationship. One that maybe matters more than the rest, either because it lasted longer or because the bond was stronger, whatever the reason is. I want you to know that because the Lovers and the King of Cups are in reverse, the Empress, it doesn't mean that the relationship won't work. I don't want you to look at it that way. And in the context of this reading, it's really not applicable, quote unquote. The idea here is that whether it's one big relationship, quote unquote, like the most important one in your life, or a few of them that really matter to you over time, you're always going to rediscover yourself through love, through the mirror of the relationship. I think that both of these, the way you are with people and life in general, like with out in society, is as important and bounces off how you are in love and vice versa. I think that also matters because it's always in relation. You're not dissociated, right? You are a person like everyone. You have a private life and you have a public life, but you're not dissociated. That's really important. Although you're probably the sign that's able to how do you say I can't even say it. Compartmentalize. You know, to put in compartments. Excuse me. I'm French, right? It's difficult sometimes to pronounce the words, for me at least. Yeah, so you don't dissociate, or you shouldn't as much as possible, although you're very good at that. You're very good at putting things, ideas, feelings in places in your mind to be able to cope. But I would suggest that you learn to really stay open as possible. I mean, these two cards, like the Empress, although she's in reverse, Seven of Wands in reverse, the Yes card, all of these energies are so strong in terms of being ultra receptive, really, really receptive to people's energies, people's feelings, people's touch, you know, people's words, all of it. It's really beautiful. You are going to experience it as very black and white. You are going to experience it as intense, for sure. That's a given. But you'll have a very full life, and you'll feel it'll bring a lot of meaning. I will also want to pull the Death card on this because I think there's a lot to extract on the Death card when it comes to learning what the meaning of life is for oneself, right? Because it's never the same for all of us, each one of us. So I don't want to just pull in this one and tell you that you're going to learn, you know what I mean? They really work together, these two. Anyway, let's draw out of the last oracle deck. I felt like shuffling a little bit more. Thank you for your patience. If you've made it this far in the video, I think you've been patient, so I think you're still here for this last card. I love this. I'm telling you, there's so much Jupiterian energy. It's in French, okay? L'enthousiasme. L'enthousiasme is enthusiasm. This is the yes energy. It's also the Empress energy. It's the one that is allowing, like, saying, bring it on. Okay, the key words here are a source of inspiration for others. This is both the Hierophant and the Empress. It says expression, self-confidence, self-love, all of it. Integrity, success, sharing. And it says positive response, in French, réponse positive. This is a positive response, meaning in the affirmative, and it's a yes. This is crazy. I love it. This is beautiful. I mean, I can't help myself, but this drawing makes me feel like I'm gonna turn the Empress upright just for the sake of it. Just because it's a woman, right? A feminine figure. I don't know. It's the allowing, it's the yes energy. It's so beautiful. And even with this Ace of Cups, there's so much love in this reading. In all its forms, in all its, you know, like the good and the bad of it, like, you know, like all of it. And it says integrity, but it's not just integrity here, it's the integral. It's also that word. So that's important. It's exactly this that I'm describing. Integral is having both black and white, you know, the life and the death, all of it, the plus and the minus. Oh, I mean, I'm not gonna go on, you catch my drift. And it's interesting because I've placed the Lovers card in the middle. Again, although the card is in reverse, this reading is about, you know, the equation of this, all of these energies coming together. Really beautiful reading. I really hope something resonated here for you. If it did, you can like the video, you can comment, I would love that. Share, of course, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Good night.